teachers, and all my fellow schoolmates, a very good morning to you all. Today, we are World Environment Day, and on this occasion, a debate competition has been organized. Before we begin,
steadily for our environment. Yet some people have the audacity to defend its use, sticking to convenience while turning a blind eye to the destruction it leaves behind. If plastic is so convenient and cheap, why not make everything out of it? Oceans included. Oh, pardon me, we already have. In our pursuit of progress, humanity has not built a world of wonder, but has sculpted a monument of waste. Layer by layer, we are turning Earth into a relic of our own axis. I request you all to look up. Every year, millions of animals die entangled in or poisoned by plastic waste. It invades its soil too, disrupts the ecosystem, releases toxic chemicals, disrupts its fertility, and threatens our food supply. Moreover, plastic waste is non-biodegradable, and people often stick to dumping it in oceans or burning it to get rid of it, causing air and water cancer. Speaking of cancer, humanity has been ruining our planet as if environmental collapse is somebody else's problem, until it's not. Does humanity still not care to change? Well, it should now that the consequences have hit home. Plastic waste have been recorded as a cause of numerous human health diseases, and cancer is one of the most prominent one of those, followed by cardiovascular diseases, infertility, and numerous others. Are these not enough reasons to ban plastic? These are enough, more than enough. That is it. We need urgent change. Halt plastic production and turn the existing waste into reusable, sustainable resource. Instead, the manufacture of biodegradable alternatives should increase, such as PVA, PHA, Terrasol, salt-based plastic, and edible spoons. The manufacture of biodegradable alternatives can create new job opportunities, and with high demand, it will become cheaper. Trust me, this way the era of plastic will come to an end, gradually, but it will. To conclude, I would like to remind you all that we are the first generation who are affected by the pollution caused by plastic. And we are the last generation to do something about it. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead. So plastic, even if handled properly, the manufacture of plastic will keep dumping our planet into waste. And it will not be handled properly. If you stop the manufacture of plastic, we can do something about the already existing waste. But if you keep dumping the planet into plastic, it will only increase the pollution and leave a bigger carbon footprint.
Present here. Today I, Sadhni Thakur of class 9th Pearl, am here to speak in the motion that plastic should not be banned. Plastic trash is a major issue, but scrapping all plastic is unworkable, as it is incredibly vital for so many things we depend on. In hospitals, plastic makes safe tools like syringes, IV drips, and surgical gloves, protecting millions of lives daily. For food, plastic packaging preserves freshness by slashing waste into halves in places like India, where fridge is not common. Without plastic, rotten food would stack up, hurting families who can't afford to lose it. Financially, the plastic industry supports millions of jobs and keeps things like pipes, bags, and containers affordable. Substitutes like metal bottle or plastic or eco-plastic can cost way more and use heavier resources, which isn't eco-friendly either, and use heavier resources. So friends, do you think plastic pollution can Yes, plastic pollution can be battled by being proactive. For example, by organizing trash at home. Toss plastic into recycling bins like Japan does so well. By using reusable items like tote bags or metal bottles to keep plastic out of rivers and seas, saving animals like fishes and turtles. These simple moves spark a huge change. On a large scale, smart recycling like Germany's 60 to 70% waste recovery and designing new green plastic can be adopted, and it will save plastic pollution without causing much problem and using less money.
About to come up on the stage is Ananya Verma of class 9th Diamond, who will speak for the motion.
A very warm good morning to one and all. Today I, Ananya Verma, a student of class 9 Diamond, stand before each one of you to speak in the motion that plastic should be banned. It's quite surprising to see that many people think that plastic should not be banned. Well, let me enlighten you with the fact that the lives of over 1,500 species are at risk due to plastic ingestion. Plastics release chemicals in the soil that are hazardous and can decrease the fertility of the soil to a very great extent. It is also to be noted that almost 40% of the plastic waste is burned globally, releasing toxins in the air. And even a research has shown that the wind has picked up so much of plastic that an average human being could be inhaling up to 16.2 bits of plastic every hour, which is equivalent to an entire credit card a week. And you still think that plastic is not dangerous? Well, I believe by 2050 there will be 5 times as much as plastic in the oceans as it is today. More than the fish. Because every year, nearly 13 million tons of plastic waste is dumped into the oceans, where it chokes the coral reefs and poses a great threat to the aquatic life. There is no doubt that plastic escalates global warming too. And innocent animals like cows, they eat them, choke on them, and then they die. And so many animals and men, women, children are losing their lives to plastic like this every single day. I asked you how many times you read on the newspaper that people are losing their lives to plastic. Rivers are being polluted by plastic. Environment is deteriorating by plastic. But now, it is the high time to realize all these ill effects of plastic and how badly it affects our planet Earth. We need to work together towards a greener, healthy, and a plastic-free future. Opposing the ban of plastic is like a murder. It's a suicide. And why must we struggle? Why must we make others struggle too? At the end, to sum up, I would just say, if you want your parents to live, plastic should be banned. If you want your friends, your siblings to live, plastic should be banned. If you want to live, plastic should be banned. Thank you.
I would like to invite Vaibhavi Sharma of class 10th Diamond to speak against the motion.
I am Vaibhavi Sharma of grade 10, and today I stand firmly against the idea of banning plastics. And let me just say, if plastic was a person, it would sue us all for defamation. We've used plastic for decades. It has supported our industries, protected our food, advanced medicine, and even helped save lives during the pandemic. And suddenly, we've all collectively decided that it's the villain? Well, no. The real villain is our mismanagement and our ignorance. Are we really in the right minds to be banning something that's affordable, durable, versatile, and if handled properly, even recyclable? Well, let's look at some alternatives, shall we? Paper, great. Until you realize how unrealistic it is, considering the amount of trees you'd have to chop down just to make that work. Glass, lovely, until it shatters and doubles your carbon footprint in the production. Cloth? Wonderful. If you can afford and maintain it, that is, and to all those who think that the new cotton bags are going to be the saviors of the 21st century, you are sadly mistaken. Because let me tell you, it takes over 7,000 liters of water to produce one single cotton bag. Now, plastic won't solve pollution. We'll have to change our habits for that. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what's in your hand, it's about what you do to it after you use it. Japan recycles over 80% of its plastic every single year. I repeat, 80%. They did not ban it, they simply taught their people how to make proper use of it. So the real question here is, why are we out here blaming the product when we should be upgrading the system? In conclusion, banning plastic is not the brave move, it's the easy one. The brave move is to own up to our mistakes, create better systems, and respect a material that once revolutionized this world. Because real progress does not lie within banning the tools that we once created for our own comfort. It lies in learning how to master them. Thank you.
I invite Aditi Sharma of class 9 Sapphire to speak for the motion.
Today, I stand firmly for the motion that plastic should be banned. And I do so not only as a student, but as a concerned human living on a planet that is quite literally drowning in plastic. Let's start with some simple facts. 400 million tons of plastic waste is produced every year. Up to 1 million plastic bottles are purchased every minute, and 5 trillion plastic bags are purchased every year worldwide. Plastic has become ubiquitous in our environment. Microplastics are extremely pervasive, that they have been found in air, plants, soil, and even human fetus. Now, yes, plastic is convenient, but let's be real, so is junk food. And we all know how that turns out. Convenience should not come at the cost of survival. Plastics usually take 1,000 years to decompose. So, if Shakespeare used a plastic pen to write his stories, it would still exist today. And that is not just long-lasting, that is haunting. And it is expensive as well. Not only in terms of health, but also money. There's a loss of $500 billion to $2.3 trillion every year. We are basically paying to poison ourselves. Now, people can say, oh, but we can always recycle plastic. Really? Only 9% of plastic ever produced has been recycled. Rest is either dumped or burnt, releasing harmful gases which are dangerous for everyone. So, what's the solution? A gradual, well-planned and firm ban on plastic, especially microplastics. In the end, the question is not whether plastic is convenient or not. We all know it is. But the real question is our convenience worth the cost of our planet, our lives, and our future? Let's be the generation that chose planet over plastic. We inherited a green earth, not a dull, grey one buried under plastic. If we do not act now, it would be too late.
to have a clean future to preserve. Thank you.
I, Arpita Sharma of class 10 Sapphire, stand before you all to speak against the motion. Should plastic be banned? My answer is a firm no. While I acknowledge that plastic has become a serious environmental concern, but banning it entirely is not the solution. Instead, we must focus on responsible usage, recycling, and innovation. Let us consider the incredible versatility of plastic, from packaging and medical devices to electronics, construction, and even space exploration. You all can't deny that plastic plays a critical role in our modern lives. It is lightweight, durable, and forgeable. The nature has revolutionized industries and made plastic items accessible to billions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, plastic-based medical gear saved millions of lives. Would we prefer going back to glass syringes that breaks easily, or cloth masks that are less effective? Banning plastic does not solve the root of the problem. Just replacing one problem by another. For instance, paper and cloth alternatives may seem eco-friendly, but require more energy, water, and land to produce. And their carbon footprints can often be higher than that of plastic. Legislate, not eliminate. In conclusion, banning plastic is a simplistic answer to a complex problem. We must hold ourselves accountable and work towards sustainable solutions. Let's not throw out the plastic with the problem. Let's manage it wisely. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
I'd like to call upon all of the participants to come up on the stage for the rebuttal round.
You criticize the biodegradable alternatives because the manufacturer leaves a carbon footprint. Are you aware that the footprint that the manufacturer of biodegradable alternatives leaves is not as deep as the impact of plastic waste? The plastic. Seriously? The footprints of paper and cloth are higher than that of plastic. Do you know how much it costs to ban such a valuable material, plastic? It's not easy to ban such a valuable material, plastic. And their alternatives are costlier than that of plastic.
Question is from Aditi. When you talk about banning plastic, do you even consider the extent of it? Do you not take into consideration the condition of have-not classes if plastic suddenly got banned? How much they would have to suffer economically and socially?
Plastic is banned. Government and our UN can also obviously help people who use plastic in replacing it with other alternatives. Plastic is in a very extensive use, of course, but government can encourage people who largely depend on plastic to replace it with other alternatives. They can be helped financially, and they can be helped financially in the beginning, and once the use of other alternatives other than plastic becomes a norm, then they can easily settle with it.
Is for Beverly. Every year, millions of animals die entangled or poisoned by plastic waste. Do you have a say on that? Are the lives of those animals not important to you? Proving my point over here, the problem is not plastic, it's the management of it. If proper systems are created, if plastic is properly managed, then this problem will be solved. And do you think if we bring biodegradable alternatives into use, they would not need any sort of management? If we bring out the biodegradable alternatives, they will just come with more plastic coatings, more pesticides used. And how bad of an impact they would have on these animals?
Like you said, there will be 5 times more plastic in the ocean in the future, even more than fishes. Shouldn't it be the human who should take care of this problem instead of banning it?
If we keep manufacturing the plastic, in some way or the other, their disposal will indirectly or directly go into the oceans and affect the marine life. And yes, today 8 to 30 million tons of plastic is dumped into our oceans. And maybe this number can increase in future if we keep manufacturing plastic.
Myra is that.
If the entire ocean, land, air are filled with plastic pollution, how do you deal with that? How do you recycle all of it? And as we know, a very less amount of plastic is recycled all over. So how can you recycle all the plastic that is present on the earth?